It's Ash from Super Videos back for another live stream Q&A video. This is going to be Q&A number 64. So before we get it started, I just want to let everyone know that I have a cold, so my voice is probably going to be very bad here, but just bear with me and, start asking your questions. Let's get a discussion going. Ask interesting questions like last time, and, we'll see where this live stream goes in terms of the questions that are asked. So, Twister HD, I'm here early with the smiley, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Giuseppe De Rosa, yo, it's Ash. Yes, it is. King Ken 14 says hello. Giuseppe De Rosa, love your vids, bro. Thank you, I appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. King Ken 214, if you want any character to kill, who would you want to kill on The Walking Dead? So if I wanted to kill a character, who would I kill? At the moment, I would probably say some of the saviors. Simon is a big one. In terms of characters from the Survivor side, I would say, there's just something about Daryl dying during All Out War that definitely intrigues me. So that's one that I'm definitely keeping my eye open for, but it's most likely not going to happen. Epic Zombie Killer, Q&A, hey, is it a coincidence that Carl's death is similar to Deanna's death? Yeah, I actually just noticed that a few days ago when I was kind of watching old episodes and stuff, just clips and stuff. So, yeah, I think it's a coincidence. The two deaths are definitely similar, but I think it's a coincidence for sure. I don't think they planned something like that. It might look like an Easter egg or a throwback or whatever, but I don't think it was intentional. King Ken 214, do you have a girlfriend or wife? No, I don't. Twister HD, I have a question. Do you think Maggie will ever have her baby, considering it's been a year and a half in our time? Yeah, in our time it has, but I don't think in the timeline in the show it's been that long. To be honest, it should be showing a little bit at least at this time, but, it probably will start showing maybe near the end of Season 8, close to Season 9, maybe even in Season 9. Obviously, in Season 9, we're going to see the baby because there's going to be that time jump. So, we're definitely going to see something by the end of Season 8 in terms of Maggie showing signs that she's definitely pregnant. Not that I think she's not, but, it wouldn't hurt for it to show a little bit as well. Epic Zombie Killer, Q&A, hey, do you think Carl will reanimate and become a walker, or will they put him down immediately? That's a tough one. I hope that at least he comes back reanimated. To see something like that would be pretty interesting, because his death was, excuse me, underwhelming, so... Excuse me. So I hope that at least they'll bring him back reanimated so that there's something interesting about his death. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think The Walking Dead will stop using comic material and go their own route and create their own stories? I don't think so. They've stayed pretty close to the source material so far, especially in Season 8, so I don't think that they're going to change that. Yeah, I don't think they're going to change that because they've been sticking to the comic material very closely this season. Only compare me to The Blast. These live streams are boring. Well, you don't have to stay, you can leave. It wouldn't be boring if you ask questions and, participate, but you don't have to stay either. King Ken 214, do you think they will be a spin-off of Fear the Walking Dead? I don't think so. Fear the Walking Dead is already a spin-off, so I don't think they're gonna do a spin-off on another spin-off. It just doesn't make sense. And Fear the Walking Dead is already not doing that well, so to bring another show will not help the matter, in my opinion. Twister HD, since Carl is dying, do you think The Walking Dead will lose a lot of its fan base just like Glenn and Abe's? That's difficult to say. It remains to be seen, but I don't think that a lot of the fan base is going to leave because of Carl's death. Maybe a small portion of them, but not a lot of them. So I don't think it's going to impact it. For Glenn and Abe, I feel like it was a series of things that resulted in low ratings and fans leaving and stuff. One was about the cliffhanger, one was about the brutality of it, one was about, the double deaths, 2 major deaths, and a smaller, or another portion of that, which was very small, was, actual Glenn and Abe fans that wanted to leave because of those deaths. Kevin Martinez says, Hi, how are you doing? Wayback Machine 1, I think Carl will kill himself. Well, I don't think he's going to kill himself. He's already bit, so there's no point in him killing himself. If you mean kill himself to stop himself from reanimating, then that's possible. I hope they don't go that route, because it would be more emotional, or it would be a more emotional scene if they have Rick do it. Or have a scenario where, like we talked about, him reanimate or something like that. Kevin Martinez, will Daryl die? It's possible, but at this time, I think because of the risks that they will be taking, and because they already killed off Carl, they might not go that route. But I'm definitely interested to see that. I think Daryl's death will definitely be one of those very, very emotional and interesting deaths that they can do during all that war. Epic Zombie Killer. Q&A. What are you excited for? More Fear the Walking Dead Season 4 or The Walking Dead Season 8B? If you want me to be very, very honest with you, I would say Season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead. Only because of the crossover. That's the only reason. But I'm definitely interested to know the end, or get to see the ending of All Out War in the show as well, and see what they do with Negan and how they resolve All Out War. So I would say I'm leaning more towards Season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead, but that's only because of the crossover and the hype around it and how it's very interesting, because I just don't know how they're going to pull it off. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think Rick will get his beard back again? His big beard back. It's possible, definitely. During All Out War, he doesn't have a lot of time to shave, so he'll definitely be growing it out. Maybe not to that extent as we saw in Season 5, but it'll definitely be there. Kevin Martinez, in your opinion, do you think we will see the Whisperer arc? Yeah, I think we will. There's no reason why they wouldn't do it, so I definitely think we'll see that, most likely in Season 9. Only compare me to the best. Favorite comic book character? Favorite comic book character? I would say Rick first, then probably Michonne, Maggie, and Negan up there as well. Obviously Carl, I forgot Carl. So Rick, Carl, then probably Michonne, Negan, and Maggie. And Jesus is up there as well, but lower down. Twister HD. This isn't a The Walking Dead question, but I had to ask, did you have a nice Christmas, etc., New Year's? Yep, I did. We don't really celebrate it, but, staying home, relaxing, definitely was good in itself. Epic Zombie Killer, Q&A, do you think it's possible we could see an Abraham crossover with Fear in the future? They could do that, but I feel like it would be overdoing it. They're already doing one crossover with a major Walking Dead character, so I think doing it again would be, or doing it for another character would be overdoing it. Wayback Machine 1, yes, so his father don't have to do it, I mean. Oh, I see. I think you're referring to him killing himself so Rick doesn't have to do it. Could be, but again, wouldn't be that interesting for the story, I would say. It would be better to kind of show a scenario where Rick has to do it. And there's a lot of things going through his mind and something along those lines. I think that would be better than having just Carl kill himself, because his death or him being bit is already underwhelming the way they took him out. So I just want them to at least do something interesting with the resolution of his death and not have it be that simple. Kevin Martinez, could you subscribe to my channel? It is that. Okay. So I don't really subscribe to other channels that much unless I like the content that they have. So I'll check out your channel, but you know, it just depends whether you have good content or not, or whether I'm interested in the stuff you're putting out there for me to actually subscribe. Giuseppe De Rosa, how many seasons do you think Andrew Lincoln will sign since his contract is up? I don't think that he's going to be wanting to leave anytime soon, so he's probably going to stay for a couple more years. Maybe he's not going to stay as long as, or that long so that the quality is down the drain. He's probably going to go when it's in good shape rather than wait until everything is, you know, going down and the quality is declining. I just want to say one thing, back to Kevin Martinez saying subscribe to my channel. So the only reason I don't is because then everyone's going to just come in here and ask me to subscribe to their channel. That's the only reason I don't just subscribe back to everybody. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think we'll see a time jump for The Walking Dead? Yes, probably in Season 9, not in Season 8. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think Rick's group will take over the Commonwealth or become in charge? The story in the comics is definitely interesting. I don't know where they're going with it. If Rick and the gang go there and decide to overthrow it, they're going to have a hell of a difficult time doing it. With 50,000 population, it's going to be difficult to overthrow that community. So they're better off just joining. And it's not about them wanting to overthrow or not. You know, or them going, okay, what I want to say is when they go there, it's to their benefits to want to join than to overthrow it and just take the place. Taking the place is much like what the governor would do. Rick would never do something like that, especially in this scenario. And what adds to that is that the soldiers are very orchestrated. There's a somewhat powerful leader there, it seems like. So I don't think they would even have a chance. Even if you don't look at the population of 50,000, just the soldiers themselves would have the upper hand on them. Kevin Martinez, I don't know what that says. I don't think that's English. Moving on, only compare me to the best. Let me know if you want me to post spoilers, because I'm going to post some. Don't post spoilers, please. No spoilers. This is a no spoiler community here. Especially the live streams, because there's no way to filter it in time. Royal King 35 Royal, do you think Dwight could die and Daryl could become leader of the Saviors? I don't want Daryl to take Daryl's storyline necessarily, but I do like the first half of that with Daryl's death. I don't think that it's the best thing for Dwight to take, or for Daryl to take over the Saviors, but that's not even what you asked. You are not asking about Daryl's death, sorry. So I don't think Dwight is going to die and Daryl is going to take his place. I don't think they need to do that. They shouldn't replace a character with another character. Dwight is a different character than Daryl. They shouldn't replace one over the other. Alex the Savage Gamer, the Whisperers will be scary in the show. Yes, I'm hoping that they do it right. But at the same time, I had a lot of high hopes for All Out War. That hasn't paid off yet, so I'm not gonna basically put a lot of expectations into the Whisperers because I feel like I'm gonna be let down. So I think that they will be very scary and it'll be very interesting to see them in the show, but I'm lowering the bars a little bit. I think the bars we as fans have set for The Walking Dead are just way too high right now. And maybe we have too much expectations. Let's just be honest. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A. Hey, I'm guessing since Carl is going to die, that means Negan will survive season 8. That's very, very likely, yeah. Especially with what Scott Gimple is saying about the ending of the war and how this is necessary for that. So I definitely feel like they're doing the same thing as the comics for that. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A. Hey, do you feel about bite deaths? Do you like them or hate them? It depends on who's getting the bite and how they're getting it and, you know, how it all comes into play and what we see. In Carl's scenario, it didn't work. It was a letdown. But, for example, let me think of another great bite. For Tyrese, that was an interesting one. It wasn't that great, but I liked what I saw. Like, it wasn't that bad. So Tyrese is definitely one that was definitely good, I think. Let's see if I can think of other ones. Yeah, that's the only one that I can think of right top of my head. Royal King 35 Royal, do you think they should have killed off Sophia? Because if they didn't, Carol would have found her at the Commonwealth. Well, it's difficult to say because those were definitely different points in time when Michonne's daughter disappeared, which was pretty much before everything happened or what we saw, and you know, when Sophia disappeared. Those are definitely different points in time at different distances from the Commonwealth. So it might have worked, but it's difficult to say. Only compare me to the best. Can you sub to my channel? Maybe. Alex the Savage Gamer. Okay, message retracted. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think we'll see the Commonwealth in the TV show? That's way, way, way in the future. I don't think that we need to think about that yet. It's way too early for us to think about the Commonwealth. Definitely, if we get to that point and the show is still going, they'll be there. But let's just see what happens with the show right now. Alison Gravel, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, says, Hi, how are you? Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think we'll see more Season 1 characters die? Not during this season, maybe, or I shouldn't say that, because Morgan is there. Morgan is the only case that I can see dying during this season. Daryl is there as well, but I don't think that they're going to do it. Alex the Savage Gamer, do you think Rick will say, ever hear of the one who bought a baseball bat to a gunfight fucker? They are going to have to censor that profanity or the cuss word, the F word, but that's a classic line. They're going to have to put it in there. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think Season 9 will have a different vibe? I think so. I think it'll be more about the walkers. It'll be more dark, more gritty, more scary, more horror-centric, more zombie-centric, I guess. It'll have more kind of slower episodes, I would say, because what we see from the Whisperers, it's not action-packed necessarily. Until the end, obviously, when we get to the Whisperer War, but that's after the Whisperers show up initially. Royal King 35 Royal, how do you think TV show Negan would have reacted to comic Negan? How would TV show Negan react to comic book Negan? I think they would get along just fine, to be honest. Giuseppe De Rosa, where's Earl Sutton? Isn't he the one that got shot by Simon during the mid-season finale? I think that was him. So he's most likely dead. Only compare me to the best. Was that... What? Was it sad to find out that Carl was bit? It was shocking, sad, disappointing, all at the same time. We are about 22 minutes in, and maybe 5 more minutes for this live stream Q&A because I am a bit sick and, I am feeling a bit not, that great. So maybe 5 more minutes for the Q&A live stream and then we'll end this live stream. Giuseppe De Rosa, what's your favorite Walking Dead episode? No Way Out was great. Too Far Gone was great. No Sanctuary I loved. I loved most of 716, most of 801, or not 801, sorry, 616 and 701 with the Negan entrance and everything and the double deaths and everything. Again, some problems with the double deaths. I've discussed this over and over again, but those are definitely my favorite episodes. 716 is definitely up there as well. Royal Skate 35 Royal, hey Ash, if you were to be a character in The Walking Dead, who would you be and how would you want to die? I would want to be someone close to Rick in terms of being one of his top soldiers or top lieutenants or whatever. That would be very interesting, I think. How would I want to die? Difficult to say. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe killed by a big character. That's the only thing I can think of. And you say in either TV show or comic. Yeah, it would be the same thing. Alex the Savage Gamer, message retracted again. Royal King 35 Royal, what's the most devastating death in the comics? Mine is Tyrese. Glenn. Glenn would be up there. Devastating deaths in the comics, you can't go wrong with Glenn. That was the most devastating thing ever. Only compare me to the best. How tall are you? Not that tall. Alex the Savage Gamer, The Walking Dead needs to step it up. Yes, I agree. Michonne's mom, I think Red Eye Rick is bit and dying because AMC and Gimple want to out with old We Used You Up fandom and in with the show younger fandom. I kind of understand what you're saying. I don't think Rick is going to be bit and die during this season. If he does, then, I'm going to stop reviewing the show. I'm going to stop talking about it. I'm still going to watch probably, but I'm just not going to do any videos on it because if Rick dies, the story is screwed up. At this point, I would say, during Season 8. Royal King 35 Royal, do you think The Walking Dead will ever get its ratings up? I think it will. It'll probably not get as high as what it used to be, but it'll get it back. It'll not get it back necessarily, but it'll go up. Giuseppe De Rosa, you should grow out your beard like Rick. I'm thinking about it, actually, but yeah. We'll see what happens. Giuseppe De Rosa, you would look cool. Thank you, I appreciate it. Only compare me to the best. Shane versus Trigan. Who's Trigan, exactly? I don't know. I don't know who Trigan is. But Shane would probably win. Alex the Savage Gamer, if Negan dies, where would the show go? If Negan dies, where would the show go? So I think this is what I take from your question. If they kill Negan at the end of All Out War, where will the show go? They will bring in the Whisperers. They're going to have to remix the story in terms of where we have that crossover between Negan's story and the Whisperer's story. But other than that, I don't think the show will end or suffer more than what I just said. The only thing is that they're going to have to remix a lot of the crossover between those two storylines. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think we'll see a new group of villains that are not from the comics? We could see that, but I feel like Gimple and the showrunners have basically stayed away from that for a while now. They've been sticking very much to the comics in recent time. Royals King 35 Royal, would you rather have Carl die or Daryl? Daryl. Only compare me to the best. Should Negan take over as leader of the show? No, he should not. Rick should stay the leader. Giuseppe De Rosa, the governor versus Terminus. The governor. The termites were weird and very brutal, but the governor is 10 times more brutal, and he's smart. He's smarter. Royals King 35 Royal, do you think Negan will survive long enough to the Commonwealth? Oh, in the comics, maybe. I think at this point it's way too easy for them to kill him off because his story is somewhat done. So I think there's a very good chance that they're gonna keep him around. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think the finale battle will be the best episode ever? I hope so, but my expectations are not very high. Only compare me to the best, Tupac or Biggie? So a non-Walking Dead question here. Tupac. Giuseppe De Rosa, what if the governor was in charge of the Saviors? They would have been a very different group. They wouldn't be the Saviors anymore. We are about 29 minutes in. So, yeah, I think I'm going to end this live stream here, or Q&A live stream here. Thank you for participating to everyone who did come in and participate. I appreciate your support and, coming in and participating and supporting the channel and all. And I hope to see everyone again back here next Friday for the next Q&A live stream. So, I'll just answer one last question that's here. Do you think Daryl will grow out his beard? I don't think so. He doesn't look good with the beard. Or I've never actually seen him with a beard, so I don't think they're going to do that. So yeah, that's it. Okay, one more. Michonne's mom. AMC and Gimple have two choices. Change the show or change the fandom. I think they're going to for the new, younger fandom. I don't think so. They're going to have to respect the old fans, the fans that have been there for a while. So just forgetting about them and trying to get new people in and, directing episodes or storylines to them, I think that's a bad approach. I think you should respect your fans and the old fandom rather than trying to change the fandom. That's it for this Q&A video. Again, thank you for participating. I will see you again next Friday for the next Q&A live stream.